We're here at the Lincoln premiere in the heart of the capital at the Savoy on O'Connell Street. It's snowing behind me. Huge crowds have actually showed up. Hopefully they're going to see Daniel Day-Lewis, they're going to see Steven Spielberg, Sally Field and loads of other Irish celebrities. So lots of excitement because there isn't these kind of huge premieres in Ireland, maybe 3 or 4 a year. So we just can't wait.
I'm thrilled and honored, but more than that, I'm so pleased that Lincoln has received so much recognition from everyone all over. And now we're bringing it to the rest of the world, and it's very exciting. And to be here in Dublin, premiering the film, we all feel like, well, I think we're taking it off Daniel's excitement, but I'm second place because I'm equally as excited to be here.
What does Lincoln as a president mean to you as an American?
Well, I think it means a great deal to Americans, but I think the film will show you that it is this kind of man rising up and carrying the responsibility. But more than that, I think it talks about the complicated nature of human beings governing themselves. And that's going on all over the world right now, that fight, that debate, and people screaming out, we need to have the right and privilege to govern how we live our lives. So that is a universal issue. Actresses, as they get older, really don't have the pick of anything. You know, there's so few roles. So if something comes along like this, you really have to step up to the plate, as it were. Boy, how much time have you got? He is the most wonderful, decent, honest, loving man. I couldn't adore him more. Forever.
Steven Spielberg is just here and he's being interviewed and it's very exciting.
Daniel accommodated me and I think the world by agreeing to play Abraham Lincoln. The least I could do was to do the premiere here in Ireland, but not just because of that. I made a movie here called Saving Private Ryan and had one of the best times of my entire career in County Wexford. And I've since been back to Ireland a lot, just privately, as someone who has fallen in love with your country. Well, because every movie for me is like starting over again. The currency of what I've done before doesn't pay for much. Speaking personally, you know, everything is new. Every film is a new beginning, and I don't think of experience or career when I'm when I'm telling a new story. It's all, I still get the nervous stomach. Well, I think the character will certainly appeal to the rest of the world. I remember everybody was afraid that nobody would go to see the King's Speech in America, and everybody learned things they never knew before when they went out to see Colin Firth and that wonderful portrayal. So I think that it's a great character, Lincoln, and whether you know much about him or not, by the end of the story you'll know more than you ever thought you would.
Steven, people talk about the magic of your films. Tell us about the magic, and how do you create that magic?
I don't know about the magic. I just make the movies. I mean, if some of the movies are perceived to be that way, that makes me really happy, but I'm not an alchemist. I'm a movie maker.
Do you ever feel pressure? Do you ever feel pressure that people expect something amazing from you and you always seem to deliver?
I always feel pressure, but I expect so much from myself. What people expect from me doesn't usually measure up to what I expect from myself. I can disappoint people, and I have in the past, and what's worse is when I ever let myself down, so that's what I strive not to do.
Well, I'm really excited about this night. That's what's before us right now, is the fact that against all the odds we managed to make a real occasion out of this film's opening in Europe. And when I knew that we were really doing this, it had always been in my mind, if it were possible, to have a benefit for the Wicklow Hospice. So I'm just amazed that it all worked out. My mum passed away 3 years ago, and it coincided with the time when Ivan Cahill invited me to become a patron of the Hospice Foundation. And my mum was in what they call a cottage hospital in England, in Petersfield, and I was so deeply grateful for the compassion and the kindness and care of the hospice workers in that hospital. And my mum could have actually gone home to die, but she chose to remain in that hospital because she felt safe there and she loved the staff there. And we don't have one of those facilities or anything like it, nothing between Dunleary and Waterford as far as I know, and people need to have those facilities. So
And we've got the red carpet here being rolled up. The stars are inside now, actually watching the movie. We've got Sally Field inside. We've got Steven Spielberg inside. And, you know, so much excitement, so much anticipation for this massive Irish premiere. Absolutely brilliant. And to be honest with you, I was shaking when I spoke to Steven Spielberg. I mean, this guy, absolute legend. E.T., for example. And then right across to something like Schindler's List. So many iconic, magical films.